This is Coyote News.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, the new USD track complex hosts its first meet ever. Plus, Coyote News' Heath Nimke speaks with a record-setting softball player. I'm Kayla Dorhout.
And I'm Levi Goots. Learn about how student athletes remain eligible. And in Cassidy's Corner, she gives us her thoughts on a historic athletic year. First, Kristen Schulber has some news just in.
Breaking news, sophomore guard DJ Davis has quit the Coyote basketball team. Davis started 31 and 32 games this past season and was the team's third leading scorer. Former Syracuse great Dwayne Pearl Washington has died at the age of 52. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor last summer. Syracuse coach Jim Boeheim says that the program changed forever when he signed with the school in 1983. Washington earned All-American honors from 1984 through 1986. He played 3 seasons in the NBA. USD senior Tavashki Lewin has been named the Summit League Athlete of the Week. Lewin earns the weekly award for the 2nd time this season and the 7th time in his career. Lewin broke the USC record in the 110-meter hurdles. His time ranks 5th nationally and 1st in the Summit League. And those are your headlines.
Thanks, Crystal. Coyote softball player Yvonne Minogue moved into 3rd place all-time on the Summit League hits list. She joins Coyote News' Heath Nimke live in the muck. Heath.
The softball season got off to a rough start, but they are now turning around in the Summit League. I'm joined here with Yvonne Minogue to talk a little about softball. Thanks for joining us today. Yvonne, how has things been going for softball so far this season?
Well, like you said in the beginning, it was rough, but we've been doing really well in the Summit League, and we've been coming through in some big times. So,
you now move up to 3rd in hits all time in the Summit League. How do you plan on trying to move up to 1st?
Keep hitting the ball. I mean, just not overdoing it and just doing what I've been doing all season. So,
what's your technique on hitting so well and not letting the records get into your head?
I think just honestly just doing what I know what I can do and not overthinking it, like you said, and just not worrying about that and just worrying about contributing for my team.
How do you and the rest of the team hope to finish this season?
With conference champs, for sure.
Perfect, thank you. The games against Creighton today have been canceled due to rain and are not planned to be rescheduled. The softball team heads to Omaha, Nebraska to play Omaha in a triple header this Saturday. Live in the muck, I'm Heath Nimke.
Coyotes won 19 events as they hosted USD's first outdoor track meet at the new Lillibridge Track Complex. Senior pole vaulter Peter Chapman won his event after setting his personal best of 17 feet, 1.5 inches. This places him 28th in the country. The Coyote went on to win over a dozen more events, including the men's 200 meters, women's triple jump, and women's javelin. Because the meet was the first at the new facility, each winner became a track record holder. The Coyote traveled to Kansas for the Kansas Relays tomorrow.
Student athletes have a variety of requirements they must fulfill to remain eligible to compete in their respective sports. Coyote News' Dylan Hudgens has more.
USC student athletes not only have to perform well on the field and on the court, but in the classroom as well. Ed Kennedy, who plays football for USD, says that student athletes can have a job during the year.
Yeah, you can work a job, definitely not in season. I just don't see how that's feasible whatsoever, just because of the time commitment that in-season demands. And but during the off season, some people do work.
USD student athletes are expected to take at least 12 credit hours in order to be considered a full-time student. Audrey Rieg, who plays volleyball for the university, says that USD has put a system into place to help those who are involved in athletics to make time for their studies.
The USD tennis team season is nearing the end as the team prepares for its final 2 matches. The Coyotes has to reschedule both of its home games this past weekend because of temperature needs to be above 50 degrees, winds below 20 miles per hour, and no rain. The matches were moved up to the Huther Family Match Point in Sioux Falls, where the Coyotes picked up Summit League wins versus IUPUI and SDSU.
We've been playing better and better. I mean, last week ended up being a pretty good week. I mean, Ellie and Yulia have played really good tennis this year. I mean, they're playing number 1 and 2. Means they're always playing. everyone's best players, and they're both currently 4-0 in Summit League play. I mean, they're both undefeated, probably a great chance to be all conference, and I mean, they've proven all year. I mean, they match up with anyone on our schedule.
Roberts today, which was also moved to Sioux Falls because of weather, and another home game match Saturday against Denver University that could get them a #1 seed in the conference tournament.
The USD women's golf team's currently competing in the Summit League Championships down in Nebraska City at Arbor Links Golf Course. Junior Brenna Lervik entered the final round in 6th place and currently sits tied for 3rd with players still on the course. Freshman Jennifer Vincent was tied for 2nd coming into the round, but a final round 81 dropped her to 7th place. The Coyotes entered the day tied for 3rd place as the team trailed 2nd place Oral Roberts by 1st place. The final round's still in progress, so none of the results are final. And an update to a story we told you earlier, USD's head men's basketball coach Craig Smith released this statement moments ago about DJ Davis leaving USD. He says, "We support DJ and his decision to transfer. We appreciate DJ's contribution to our program and wish him the best in his future endeavors." And in Cassidy's Corner this week, she shares her thoughts on a historic athletic year for Dakota area colleges.
This year, the Dakotas have been making a name for themselves. North Dakota and South Dakota are highly overlooked, especially when it comes to college athletics. But this year, athletes throughout the Dakotas have made it a year for the record books. Our women's basketball team won the WNIT here in the Dakota Dome, and DSU continued their dynasty this year by winning their 5th consecutive FCS title. Augustana University's men's basketball team won the NCAA Division II title, and UND's men's hockey team skated away with the NCAA Division I hockey title. This is an impressive list of titles, and something that all the athletes, teams, and schools involved should be proud of. Not to mention the fact that 3 of these schools have been Division I for less than 8 years. The Dakotas are obviously doing something right when it comes to recruiting. It doesn't matter if you attend a university with a high athletic budget, it's about making the most out of the opportunities and resources that are provided for the athletes. If an athlete has the right work ethic and determination, then they are capable of exceeding anywhere. Athletes all around us are breaking the status quo. The Dakotas sure know how to win, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for all the universities. And that's Cassidy's Corner.